SOTY Show. The SOTY Show.
Nice. Thank you guys for being here and listening to the jingle.
I'm losing my steam on the jingle. I'm not really feeling it. I gotta come up with something I actually like, and we'll do it every time.
Do you pre-plan your jingles?
No, I
He
didn't.
does not. He does not pre-plan anything in his life.
Not one single thing. I'm just a go by the seat of my pants kind of person.
It's called ADD, guys. It's a real thing.
You making fun of me for my disability now?
Yes.
Actually, speaking of disabilities, the other day,
Oh gosh.
he told me about, man, these slow release ones are getting to me.
About your pills.
Well, I was like, I'm feeling hyped. Like all of a sudden it hit me.
I think he opened the fridge maybe 3 times and didn't do anything about it. Just didn't know what to do.
Just opening the fridge.
Well, that's how it is when I'm trying to find food in this house sometimes. It's not easy to find food in this house sometimes, is all I'm saying.
Or is it just you're bored?
Unless
and
I
that's what you
pre-plan
do
it.
is go to the fridge and open it.
Maybe.
And open it.
I like to eat. Is that a problem? That's another problem. You're just making fun of me now for my weight. First because of my disability, my mental illness. What else do you want to make fun of?
The fact that I'm right in most arguments.
Oh my gosh. Oh! Are we bringing up the past?
We're not.
Be
Today,
careful
guys.
with that one.
Maybe we're bringing up the past.
You guys just have to go and watch a podcast, our previous podcast,
Well, I
and
was
then you'll
right.
know what we're talking about. I made a mistake, but I did own up to it.
Okay, so owned up to it after you were
After.
proven that it was wrong. Like, that's not owning up to it. Owning up to it
Right.
would have been during the podcast, being like, maybe I'm right. Maybe you're right, honey. You just
Instead of doubling down on it.
Yeah, instead of you told me you bet $100,000 you were right,
The problem is that
which I got way
they
more
don't
value
even know
than
what
that.
they're talking about. You guys have to go watch it to know what we're talking about.
Oh, they know it happens every episode where
I-
you're like, you don't know what you're
every
talking about, and I'm
episode.
always right.
We had an argument just a few episodes before, maybe the same one, where, not an argument, but a discussion where it was 2v1. You guys both were saying that,
You're just making up stories
I
now.
am not, that men are more likely to not get remarried than women.
I think the argument is men need to be remarried more than women. I think women need it more than men.
Yes.
Not more likely.
No. Men cannot be single. That's
Women
what I'm
can't
going
live
with.
without men.
Men cannot be single.
Literally can't survive in the wild or anything. You would just die.
In the wild. There is, if you were to look it up, statistics, I don't know if you could find one that says that men are more, or women are more apt to get remarried than men. It's the other way around. After
More apt to get remarried.
divorce or after death, like being widowed,
Okay, so
men need women.
you want to talk about just the numbers of it.
That would prove that men can't be alone.
No, that doesn't prove that men can't be alone.
Yeah, it does.
Proves that men value relationships with women.
You're just digging.
Okay, so
Our
in the first
discussion-
5 years after a divorce or a death, who gets married more often?
Men.
No, it's women.
It's men.
It is women in the first 5 years. If you don't do the first 5 years, it's men.
So you're saying
Yes.
women take longer?
No, I mean women go faster because they desperately need men. And so they immediately get married again.
Well, show me the statistics.
Oh,
so.
happily. It's like, where did I just come up with that? Maybe I searched
where
it 5
did
minutes
I
ago?
come up with mine?
All right, yeah. Oh, here we go. Why do women remarry faster than men after a divorce?
Boom.
And this is from
Boom.
this is
Roasted.
a .gov site. So this isn't just some garbage site that you're looking up of like a woman's
Okay.
handbook written on whatever that girl's Pinterest thing is.
Okay, I don't even know what the frick you're talking.
You don't know what Pinterest is?
The girls' Pinterest? Is that, are you talking about something separate?
No, Pinterest
Okay,
is
the
for girls.
Pinterest.
I think that's obvious. Is that
I'm
another
not
debate?
on Pinterest.
So, thus, because the economic penalty of divorce may be more drastic for divorced women than for divorced men, so hence,
So does
Women are more desperately
.gov,
after it.
so if I find a .gov site that says men remarry more quickly than women, the median interval to remarriage was 1.7 years for men and 3.5 years for women. Is that just a .gov site that doesn't count?
possibly. Mine's
Okay.
probably earlier up in the Google rankings.
Sure.
Since yours is clearly way further down
It
than
is
mine.
not.
Because I found mine immediately.
But I have here men remarry more often 64% than women 52%. They marry faster 1.7 years, then women 3.5 years. The highest remarriage rates were among those aged 18 to 29, with 86% per 1,000 being married males.
She's trying to bore you with numbers that she's finding that are contradictory to the numbers I found.
I've just been
So the numbers,
scrolling.
so we found numbers on both sides of the argument. That means the numbers invalid. So let's talk about the actual base of the argument. Why would a man need to remarry?
I think you need to take into account independence.
I think we should move on to the next thing.
That's if we want to go into that, it's more independence. Women need men more than men need women.
Yeah, who's more dependent?
Who is more independent?
I don't,
Men.
Okay.
Men.
Sure.
It says it right here.
What if we drop you off in the woods? Who lives longer, men or women?
We're not being dropped off in the woods. We're actually taking care of a house with children and like laundry and chores. And
Women in general
groceries
are
and
more
stuff like that.
dependent
So
than men,
usually-
meaning that men can go longer without women than women can go without men.
You guys are
Do you
just
not think
so
that in general,
wrong.
though?
Period. That's
No, I don't.
So
men
I
are
think
more
that Jamie's
independent.
thinking there's one topic where that would be wrong.
One topic.
SEX.
Yeah, for sure that.
That's what you're thinking, right?
No, I'm not. I'm actually just saying that men need more companionship. They also said that
So the independence doesn't matter, what I just said. Men are more independent. They don't need other people.
Okay, but they need to be married to a woman more often, hence why they get
What
married.
does independent mean then?
Then why do
Being
they
on
get
their
married
own.
more often?
Because they value
Where's your,
women.
Where's
Men
your
value women.
statistic?
Right here.
Where's your statistic that
NYU.edu.
women get married more often than men do?
And how many
I'm
women
There
talking
isn't
about
one.
independence.
So
I'm talking about getting remarried.
no,
It
you're
doesn't
talking
matter.
no,
That's 'cause
you're
that's a
talking
choice,
remarriage.
though.
That's the wrong
That's
thing.
a choice.
And
What
remarriage.
was the discussion
Time
that we
out.
had a few
Can I
weeks
finish
ago?
with my point, or do
was
you want
that
to just talk over me the
men
whole
need
debate?
To get... Are you kidding me? Right now? Are you kidding me? When I just sat... Okay. I may leave, and you guys can finish with yourself.
Okay, let's calm this debate down.
No.
Now that you've overstepped your bounds a little bit, let's.
This will be the last time we have a discussion on
Okay,
the podcast.
so clearly we can't
with
talk about
me
marriage.
involved in it.
Because here's why we can't say marriage. Because how many women are proposing to men? Like, maybe what's the percentage of that? What percentage of women propose to men compared to men to women?
No, this has anything
Because
to do
who's
with it.
choosing to be married? It's the men.
Because they need to be with somebody. Why are they asking the women to marry them?
Because
'Cause
women
it's a
need
choice.
it.
I think it's for a choice.
But men value marriage more, I guess. Women also leave marriages faster and more often.
Why?
That's not because they're independent.
No, it's because the man made a mistake.
Whoa.
Well, I'm just curious.
Such a judgmental
I'm just
comment.
curious. It's because the man did something to piss her off usually.
Wow. Wow.
I
Wow.
don't know about the percentages on that either. I don't know.
Okay. A few weeks ago when we had the discussion, it was who gets remarried more often, and you two said women. That it was not who's more independent, who asked
No,
who
we
to be
said
married.
who needs who more.
Yeah,
It
who
was
needs
who
who more?
gets
Who needs
more
who more,
remarried
and then
first.
it went into remarrying,
No,
but it was
both
who
of you
needs who
said
more.
that-
Is this
women-
the same debate? You're gonna have to go
Both
back and
of
watch
you get-
$100,000.
Do you want to double down?
Sure. Both of you said
Immediately yes. Immediately yes.
both of you said that women get more will get married a second time.
Okay, so we
Then
weren't
men.
focused
I'm
on the
not listening.
remarrying. We
You did
talked
say
about
that. You actually
about
said that.
who needs who more.
Who needs who more?
That's really what the debate was in.
And
Who needs
you
who more?
did
You're
not
the one that
say-
brought up.
And you did not say that women.
You
get
used the
remarried more.
remarrying as your side of the argument of who needs who more.
Who do
So
you think?
it started with who needs who more.
Okay, so the
And
numbers
then you
bear
said,
out.
well, women get remarried quicker, so they need.
So I'll agree.
Men get remarried.
So I'll
quicker, so they
agree.
need
I will
women
concede that men get married quicker, right?
It seems that women tend to cope better with singlehood and loneliness after a divorce based on such facts. Why do widowed men get married so dang quick? Divorced men are more likely to marry women, and even they said widowed men get married a lot faster than widowed women
Okay, but
because
is that
women
because
have a
kids are
harder
involved?
time. Widowed.
Is that because kids are involved? That's different, though.
But that would
I
be
mean,
a,
it all attends because
that would
the
be a
woman has
reason.
to take care. They have kids. It's harder for them to get remarried. Men
You're really
get
emotional
remarried.
about all this, aren't you?
I'm mad at you.
You're,
actually.
and me, I'm just sitting there listening.
No, I'm mad at you.
You're debating Jared at the moment.
But it's
Because when kids are involved, I think that's different. Because
So that would be a reason men need women
because
sometimes.
men would be because now at that time then you have to work, then you have to do these different things, and try to take care of kids.
So men need
Right.
women in those situations. I agree.
You're saying, if a
So what's the scenario
if a
where,
woman had passed away, if a
or divorce, I guess, whatever.
So,
no,
divorce-
a divorced woman
divorce-
takes the kids and they have a harder time getting remarried because they have the children. That was
also,
a
that's
statistic.
against what you're saying
That would
with
be
the
against.
dependents.
No, it's the women get.
They have a hard time getting married because they have kids. You're saying that would add to the
They
length of
take
time.
longer to get remarried. That's why men get remarried
But not because
quicker.
they're independent, because they just
Well, I
have
guess
baggage.
they're
or
just
the
a
situation.
single mom being independently taking care of the kids. But it just says that I just have not seen your one statistic.
I just
as
showed
I'm
it to
going.
you.
I know the one, but everything I'm reading
On the
is
one
that
article?
men.
What
No,
did you
of
search?
multiple
Tell me your
articles.
Google search. Oh, she's typing
well, I
it
mean,
in there.
I've done like 5 Google searches because you guys have changed
Oh.
your.
I mean, we haven't
things that you
changed.
talked about.
No, I mean the original.
That's
the-
not what I'm. I am
We
pretty
have
much
not
done
changed.
with this.
Jamie's riled
I'm
up right
saying
now.
my first search was
How would Jamie
who
do on a
gets-
debate stage?
Who gets remarried? Well, I don't know if someone's like screaming louder. I guess I would lose because
Well, I mean, you were
don't
able to
have
do
a-
that to me a second ago.
what?
You
Who
were
was
able to-
speaking over who?
you were
And who
able to
was
speak
yelling
over.
about the other person speaking over them
That was you.
as they were
Going
speaking
over me.
them? No,
We have to
so
rewind this.
She's saying I was
Podcast.
speaking over her in that moment. I was talking and she's yelling over me. I said, "You're yelling over me," and you were like, "What?"
no, because
I'm
you
like,
had
Yeah, I'm yelling
5.
over you now because you were talking over me. I'm pointing out that you were yelling over me.
Because you had 6 minutes of.
Wow. We should time who talked more during this debate.
It's been 6 minutes. I don't know. We've been doing the podcast for 12 minutes, starting right now. But
Yeah, and who started off super aggressive?
I think you did, right?
Me?
You came out swinging.
You came
I
out
feel like.
pretty.
Okay.
Do you
with
feel
the-
like you weren't?
Nope,
So
I'm done.
this is
We're done.
this is what I felt.
We can move on to something else.
You were focused on one area, and I felt like we were more focused on
Am I
the
getting
general
divorced
who
because
needs
of this?
who more. And that was your argument was, well, to answer the who needs who more, you said men get remarried faster than women do. That was your argument to who needs who more. My argument to who needs who more is who's more independent. Men are more independent than women are. Women need men more than
How does
men need women.
independence have to do with
The whole
actual marriage?
the whole way in the word of independence.
I don't
you.
think so.
I think
Who
men
needs
maybe would have a
companionship
relationship
more?
faster,
Who needs
maybe,
companionship
but
more?
doesn't
You can
mean
be-
marriage either.
You can be independent and be married.
So who needs companionship more?
I mean, I guess you can
So
be
is it-
married and not have any kind of companionship.
Would you say in general, women? You don't think women need companionship more than men?
No, I don't think so.
In general.
In what way? Or what,
I think
what
men
reasoning?
need more companionship than women.
Why?
I think the way that they're
You're thinking
made.
sex.
No, I'm talking about like actual, like companionship. Men have a harder time. That would be my thing of being like, why are they getting remarried? You're saying because they're the ones that ask. So
I think that's part of it.
Is
they're
there-
just
more-
asking to ask because the woman like says, "Please ask me to marry you." It's not saying who proposes. It's actually.
Would there be a
mean-
way to answer this by, is there more single men in the world than single women?
I mean,
Because there's more single men than single women.
I
in
don't
the
think
world.
that's the way of answering it.
I'm just saying that's
Because-
another.
And we're talking.
Data
You're
point
talking
that you
about
could use.
remarriage stats. So there's also men who get
We-
married in the first place.
Because we were talking about remarriage. The whole thing was when we were first discussing. You guys changed it into who's more independent, but it was when we were talking.
I'm
Though
saying
it was
independence was just my
we were
argument
saying,
to
like-
answer who needs who.
yeah.
more.
But we were saying like if we got divorced or like if somebody got divorced, who's more likely to get remarried? And I think we were saying like I think you would get married faster.
No, yeah, I agree. That's
Then
true.
I would get married faster. That's
I
the
don't-
whole conversation.
If we got divorced, would either of us get remarried? You think? I think you would.
I would not.
Really?
Well,
Yeah, no.
I
way.
think you would.
it's probably
don't
just
think
because
so.
of the funeral plot, right? Is that the main reason? I'm
Well,
thinking
we-
money wise.
Okay, wait, we've
Well,
already-
we're bringing up something that
What
we're
are we
talking
doing?
about.
We've
because
already
we're
agreed.
talking
The
about-
funeral plot, though, we're getting very next to each other, even if we get divorced.
Yeah. No, I'm saying
That's already on-
these
off
guys
the
aren't
table.
that are watching this don't even know what we're talking about.
That's okay.
You guys are bringing in.
No, they have watched the last one.
They have not.
They can go back and watch the last one.
But we have talked about the whole thing that we were discussing was, oh, I don't think I would get remarried. I think you would get remarried over me getting remarried. And then what came into men get remarried more often than women, and you guys disagreed with me. I said it because I've heard it multiple times.
I thought
I
we
think
were
it was
talking
more
about who
if they
needs.
needed to.
Well, no, but we were
Not
saying
as much of
we
who,
were. The
but who
conversation
needs.
was I was like, men get remarried.
So I think we're debating different things as
more
part of the problem
often
here.
than women get remarried, and then you guys both said, no, prove that men don't get remarried more than women, and I'm like, yeah, they do. I said even being divorced and being widowed, I think women are more fine not getting remarried.
Is it
and
more
men,
fine, or they
and
have less
men need
options to? Because they're not proposing, they have kids, they're doing things like that. So you're like, would you say that means they're more fine, or is it that they're?
Yeah, because there's skewed data in that because
That's
the
true.
men do
but
ask,
the men
and so
are asking.
they're the ones
so
that can go
they
out there and
also
ask.
That's
could not
tradition,
be
though.
asking. They
Yeah,
could
and then
also
people would
just
just
not
not
be
get married.
dating. I just think that they do it quicker after marriage, and I feel like men
That could just be
need the
it's easier
companionship.
though than it is for a woman, right? That's different than being
Yes,
needed.
I just feel like when we were first discussing it, it was you guys were like, no, women don't. Like you said that.
I thought we were talking about
who needs
who needs to more.
Yeah, because you said there's no way a man can be alone, pretty much.
I said,
That they
I
needs
think
a
they have
woman
a
more
harder
than
time.
women needs a
They
man.
have a harder time being alone. I do.
Yeah, and that's what I was saying.
And
I don't
that's
think
why
that's true
you
because
said
we talked about
independence.
Chuck and Larry,
And-
movie Chuck and Larry, and I was like,
I was
I
talking
would,
about a
I would
TV
be
show,
down
so-
to just
TV show.
book up with another dude and just hang out.
I just don't think.
I mean,
so.
it doesn't
Really?
Like, if we're talking about other physical needs, that's something on the side that
Oh, that's
it
something
doesn't
on the
mean you
side.
have to be married either.
Okay.
But that's what I'm saying is like,
I would agree though that a man has that physical need probably more than a
And
woman.
let's
I
just
can't- I would
say-
concede
let's
that
just
point.
say that they're also like
but it's
I'm
not a
not
need of marriage.
I'm not exploring that outside of the how many are just sleeping around. Maybe some people are like I need to get married for that, and women are like I don't need that, so maybe they're less likely to get
Possible.
remarried again.
And
So
so,
there's that physical attribute.
but you're
But
talking
then
about
also, why is there
remarriage.
more
though.
men single than women single?
There are probably more men in the world.
I don't know. That's,
That's a
probably...
stat. I don't know.
I mean, you're saying something that's kind of like
So, I would say you're thinking very personally for yourself, as opposed to women in general.
no, because I think that women.
Not about remarriage. I'm not talking about
Oh,
remarriage.
okay.
About
So we're not doing
needing.
that.
No, I'm not done. It's just saying like the whole point is like who needs the other more.
I think men need women more than women.
So it
need
says men hold a slight lead in the world, like 102 to 100 women.
Okay.
But I think there's more single men versus single women.
Oh, Janie's double checking your stats.
No, I'm not. I don't even know why we're googling that because it really has nothing to do with what we're talking about.
It's
so.
I feel like we're talking about two different things still. Like I think you're still like honed in on the marriage aspect of it. Where I thought it was more of like who needs it. But you think so? What are reasons you think?
That's what the discussion was like who gets more remarried, and you guys disagreed with me.
Okay, but then so we show a stat. We know it's men.
So there's
At least in a certain
121
time frame.
men to 100 women that
Then
are
what was
married,
yours?
that are single.
You said
I'm saying it over longer time. Mine says in a short, like women get married within the first 5 years. It's more often. Oh no, wait, it's men within the first 5 years.
that's what
Within
I
the first
read.
5 years, but over time, it's not just men.
Yeah. Women
Women
get
take
married
longer to
faster.
get over something that happened.
Or they take longer for
Yes.
other reasons. I misspoke.
So that
I
could
misspoke
be-
my whole time here. So,
So, yeah,
all
women
I'm
could
saying
take
is,
longer.
all I'm saying is, from what I read, men get married faster after a death of the spouse
or a divorce.
or a divorce.
Yes, I'll concede that.
They get married faster.
Faster. But
Women
not,
and it says women tend to have a harder time, especially after the death, moving on. I feel like they don't need that companionship, like the actual existing companionship, as much as men do.
Or is it as...
Men need it. They get over it quicker because they actually physically need that.
Is it the need, or is it how strong women versus men hold emotional bonds?
It's
Because
still
men
a
could
vast
hold-
difference.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. So, like, you're saying that it's more of a need, but I would argue that, or is it more that women hold a stronger emotional bond with
Okay,
other
fine.
people, so
they're
they take
holding a bond
longer,
to a dead
and then they
person
go.
longer, so they can't go bond with an alive person. That's what you're saying, like after death.
No, I'm saying so. Like maybe men don't have as strong of an emotional bond. That's why they get remarried quicker.
Okay.
Not because they need to, but because they didn't have as strong as emotional bond. Women take longer to get over it, but the numbers still equal. So they both need. It's like women after a divorce or a death need men, but they just take longer to get over it. Men need women, but they take shorter to get over it. So we're talking about the same number. So to me, that's like, okay, we're even then.
I don't think
Does
so.
that make sense?
No. But sure.
The
you
thing
guys
is, you're not
are right.
trying to see the other side.
Well, I mean, I think you just took something and made it like, okay, neither one of us are right. Now.
Well, no. I'm saying that.
It's equal.
So what you said of.
We equally need each other.
So I'm challenging your base of because men get remarried
What
sooner
areas
they
would
need
you
them more.
concede
And I'm saying that
men don't need women as much as women
No.
need men? What areas would you concede that women need men more?
Well, because you think that the women need help going and getting
Not,
gas in
I
the
didn't say
car.
what I think. I'm
No, but
asking
I'm
what
saying, like,
you think. What would you concede?
But you're saying, what am I considering?
I conceded earlier that
need,
physically men would probably need a woman more.
Men need women, or women need men more on, like building, like fixing repairs in their house, or like.
But you're saying that's
needing,
like, are you being serious right now, or are you like saying like this is reasons people would say? Like what?
Like having a man around for the stuff that they can't like physically do. You're saying like just intimacy.
Yes.
Right. Like the actual like.
That's what I conceded earlier. I'm saying.
Yeah,
so I'm
like-
asking like, what would you actually concede in that? Like, are you saying this, or are you? Because you're saying it pretty aggressively. So I'm curious if you're like saying it as like, here, there's this, or
No,
if you're like
like,
genuinely,
I think
here's an area where
that-
I would disagree with myself. My like your final thing is men need women more, right? So where would you say are
when you're
areas
taking,
where they don't?
when you're taking it, I would say it ways like where men need women more. I'm not saying that in every aspect.
I know. I'm saying what aspects would you?
That probably. I mean, I would say generally, I guess financially. Probably.
So I would say, I mean, on my side of that, I would say kids, right? There's more crime that comes out of single mother households than mother-father household.
Huh?
So like bringing up of kids.
You're
I would say the father's needed, like having a husband and a father in the family, because a lot of the mother-only households without a father, a lot of crime comes up through.
Or is it because the father is like in jail? The
Well, I'm
father
saying
is
because
there.
Yeah,
father.
I don't know if-
I mean, I'm.
Yeah, that, I don't know if I would say that that's a reason.
I mean, I think a father is pretty important with raising kids,
Yeah.
but I mean,
so
you're saying only so the
you're
men
saying
are only
your
for financially.
statistic just says that both are important raising kids, not that one is more than the other.
Well,
There's
I'm,
just-
okay,
I
so
just don't know
we
the
could
statistic
look
of
up
a single
a
dad
statistic
with
versus
kids,
single dad
and
versus
the
single
mom's
mother.
just
I agree on
We can look up
AWOL.
that.
That
We can
doesn't
look up.
happen in society usually. So
Yeah, I don't know if that one like works there. I would say also, for me, I would think most people like the bond of a relationship. You would say is men need that more than women.
yeah, and I think that it actually goes where people originally will think no because they think that it like men like what Jared was saying like I'll be fine just being on a bachelor pad and single or whatever. I really think that men need the companionship in a relationship more than women do. And I think that's why women have a harder time or
Longer
they're not
time to
getting
get
as
married, yeah.
remarried. They're not getting remarried. And there's other factors because there are factors to play and it's hard to like discount all of those other factors.
that's why it
when
makes
you
that
have
good
kids,
discussion.
when you have kids and stuff, it's probably a lot harder to get remarried when you have a bunch of kids around and you're like, oh, so I have to introduce some dude into my house that I don't know if I trust completely. Like, or that I have to try to balance this where men, let's say it's a divorce situation, doesn't even cross their mind.
What about like
that I don't
scenarios
think
like
it even,
my family history where it's easier? Like, do you think it's easier for men to marry younger, not previously married women than it is for women to do that with men?
oh yeah, because it's looked down upon, I think, in society more for, it's weirder to see a older
Yeah.
woman marrying a much younger man.
And people would judge that more, right? Like
Yes,
the
it happens.
Demi
Demi
Moore.
Moore. It just not like she was judged. It just is.
It was an
odd.
oddity.
It's odd where it's like that's not normal. Usually you'll see the older man with a younger.
Why is that?
female.
That's not weird for men to do, but it is weirder for women.
It's
That's a weird That's a weird one. So I would say there though, that's another reason though why men might be able to get married faster too, right?
Yeah, that's. I mean, I think it's easier for a man to get remarried than a woman to get remarried. That's why maybe the numbers are higher for men getting remarried.
Yeah.
But that's where it's
I do believe,
that's where we can debate on the need versus
I
just
think if you were to
which
look
is
at
easier.
any number, you're probably not going to find a statistic, even what Steve had said earlier, where women are getting married faster or more often than men are. I think it.
No, yeah,
because
that's
of all
what
this
I
other
meant. I meant to
stuff.
say take out the first 5 years in longer term, like then it changes. Like it's only if men do it faster at a higher rate.
And I think they do it faster because it's easier.
But they also
It's easier
get
for a man to go
more
find
often.
someone else.
They get remarried more often, and it says also like women over a certain age, it's a lot harder.
For women,
Way
over,
less
so-
women
and
over like
easier
the
for men.
age of 50 are getting remarried. Way
Way
less.
And that's just because men kind of suck,
But
right?
I
that
also-
would be the best argument for that reason.
I also think that they're seeking companionship, but they may be seeking companionship with a 20-something-year-old rather than the other 50-year-old woman that's there for
No,
her first
which
marriage.
I think probably
for her
bears out
first
too, yeah.
marriage, then or second marriage or whatever. But like,
Yeah,
it's just
they're young, like it's more acceptable to go with a younger
you're getting
person.
divorced in your 50s, and then now all of a sudden the women in their 50s have less options. They're also probably a little bit more closed off to that situation, and men are probably, I think, more open to starting new relationships, like even after like a bitter divorce. I don't know of many. I mean, I don't know if there's a higher statistic of men that are like, I'm just bitter after that and I'm done with women. I think it would be
No, I don't think
more
that's the
so
case.
the other way.
Okay, I see what you're saying. Like a woman might
And
be like,
that's a
I'm not getting married
companionship
again
thing. That's a
because I'm
companionship.
bitter from marriage.
And I don't need that companionship, or it emotionally affected me more than it emotionally affected him. But that's also like they're choosing not to have that companionship, whereas men are by getting remarried. I don't know.
I just look at it more of like I don't think it's as much as like it's a more of a need for men versus women versus men. Like I see it as it's easier for a man because they're doing the asking. That's why it's quicker. That's why it's easier. It's harder for women to remarry. Not that if a guy proposes to a woman after her divorce or whatever, she would probably get remarried. But I think the numbers.
Yeah,
are
the
just,
numbers
I
are-
think
it's
what's hard.
a
If
hard
you're
number to
comparing
look at.
apples to oranges instead of apples to apples because it is a different.
Do you think
circumstance.
women value the emotional bond of men more than men value the emotional bond of a woman, or no?
I mean,
I'm just curious in general. So I have to say in general because I think it's different for you than most women. I would say, I don't think you're. I would say you're an outlier in like how your personality is compared to a lot of women. I personally think that. Do you not think that, or do you think you're?
I don't know, maybe. I just don't. I see that when I'm reading the statistics too. It's like, oh, that makes sense too. Like that women, not that they. I just think that they are
Less needy than men?
able to be alone. Not that they are.
Okay, that's a good way to put it. Able to be alone.
Yes, not that they are.
You think
that
women
they
are
don't
more
have as
able
much-
to be alone than men are more able
Yes,
to be alone?
I believe that women are more able to be alone and still be like happy, like where they're like, I'm alone and I'm like
find
here.
value easier in other
Can
things?
find value in that. Whereas I think it's harder for men to be alone and find that value without having somebody.
I think that's a better route to go than like looking at marriage numbers. So I would say I think that's likely. I just think that
I don't know.
I think
men
it's
could be
easy
happy
for men
alone
to
as
not
well. I
be
think
married
it could
necessarily,
be-
but able or not to be alone.
Like
It's
there,
probably
it's
not that
like
different.
being married is very important to 58% of men versus 53% of women. Like when they're asked, being married is more important to men than women. And only 38% of men strongly agree that a woman can have a fulfilling life without marriage, compared to 54% of women that think that they can have a fulfilling, happy life without marriage. Like 38, like
Men think women
they-
less are able to
they're
than
like,
women think men.
there's no way that they think a woman can have, like, there's way less men that think that women can have a fulfilling life
That makes sense.
without marriage, and way
That's like
more
our
women,
discussion right here, right? Or what
way
we think.
more women think that they can have a fulfilling life without
But
marriage.
but is that
Because
because
I think
they're
it's harder
looking at
for
it the
the
way
guy
that,
to be able to see themselves in that same situation.
or is it because they're looking at that women need men more? That's why they think that women can't be as happy alone, because that's why they think only 38% would.
Oh, that's how I took the statistic.
Yeah,
for sure.
that's how I took it. So
So
I took it on. It would be on the side that men look at women that they
men
can't be
think
alone.
women
Yeah.
need men.
Yeah.
And you
More.
don't think it's just innately in them,
And women
thinking
are
that
like-
they also need the companionship, and that it's just, oh, women need this.
Yeah. But I think that all need it, right? So first of all, we're talking about something that everyone needs. We're just saying how much do we think they actually need it compared
And
to
like,
women.
women are happier being single than men are.
I think so.
Because being in a relationship is harder work for women. New research suggests, according to a study by Data Analysis,
That's another
that
interesting
61% of
podcast topic,
single
probably.
women are happy being single versus 49% of single men. 61 single women are happier because it's harder work for the woman. And that's why I'm thinking remarriage, where if after a divorce, if you're looking at it, like maybe the woman views that marriage more negatively too, and it's like, that was hard work, and the man may not have viewed it as much, and so it's easier to get into a second relationship. Not saying that they keep that relationship, I think they also get remarried more often.
I think there's a difference between wants and needs, though, too, in that way.
That's
That's what has a hard time with me, is like there's a want and there's a need. So it's like, do you need?
I mean, no one needs to, I guess.
Either, I think if we're talking about need, then if we say men want to get married more often than women, okay.
I think I look at it this way, where it's like, I
that.
see men as simpler sometimes. Like, I see myself
also
as
think-
simpler to be happy.
Yeah.
So when you're talking happiness, it's hard to do stats
That's what, like,
of
men don't
happiness.
need a lot.
But like for me,
lot
I
to be
think
happy, I
it'd
feel
be
like,
easier
compared
for
to
men
women.
to be happy than women outside of marriage because of the simplicity of happiness, maybe, for a man compared to a woman sometimes. Like, even when it says harder work, like, I wonder how that would work. Like, is it harder for a woman or a man in a marriage? Like, I don't know if that's a...
Which one has a harder? I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because both, I think, could... If you started just, like, piling up the lines of stuff, it's going to look like they're both putting in as much hard work, right?
Yeah.
Or do you not think that?
No. I don't.
You think it's harder for women to be married than for men?
Oh, yeah. I do.
Wow.
I think
JB just doesn't like men.
No, I'm not saying that. I honestly think when
I got a
men
man
think,
here.
men are like, yes, women need that, like, they need us, they need,
And it's
like
not
what
up
you're
and I'm
saying,
saying
that
not
they
all
really
women,
do
right?
feel
So it's
like they need that, and I do not feel that that's the case. I don't feel like women feel that they need that as much as men feel that women need it.
I agree with that.
And also, I do feel like just, I don't know, like, I think emotionally a marriage may have more impact on a woman if they're more emotionally, and then probably just the responsibilities, like if you're adding children into it and stuff like that. I do feel like probably women carry a bigger mental load when it comes to the everyday runnings of a marriage and keeping of family life. They probably carry a bigger mental load, so when they're outside of that, looking into getting into a marriage and a situation like that, they can view it that way. As a man, if they're carrying less of the mental load, it's easier to rethink, okay, well, yeah, I can get back into a relationship and stuff like that. They may be thinking about
And
the
I would
mental load
say...
it takes.
that could be a case by case basis.
No, yeah, of course that is.
Yeah.
Everything's case by case on this. But I would say, it's similar in this regard to what we're saying. Like, we clearly think women need men. Like, men clearly think, women need men more than women think they need men.
Yes.
And I would say women probably think men put less effort and hard work into like marriage
Yes.
than what men think they are doing too.
Yes.
If you were
I
to
agree.
flip that statistic as well, like I bet women would think men need women more than men think that
Oh yeah,
they
100%.
need women.
Because
So
we
it's
all
like
would say
that
the same
statistic
thing.
can go completely backwards depending on which person you're talking to. You're talking to women, yeah. Men are gonna say that women need men more, and women are gonna say we don't need you.
Yeah.
Same thing on the men's side.
Yeah,
Men
and
will say women need us more, and then we'll say we don't need women as much.
Man, you can't judge any of them like by a particular thing. So it's like just like the marriage thing or the other thing. It's all kind of this like you're debating hypothetical scenarios all the time because you can't really be like, here's a number. Like judging happiness, like that's not a thing that you can be like real. It's
I
interesting.
guess not. So there's no answer besides just all the statistics that men get married more often and quicker, but it doesn't mean that. It means
She
that-
will not give
No,
on that
I'm just
at
saying
all.
it just means that the women need men more. I guess they need them to marry them.
They want women more. I don't know about the need.
What? Say that again.
I'm saying wants and I go back to the wants and needs because it's
But Jamie's still like hard
That's
driven
where I'm
on
on
that.
the-
The number says more women or men get married more often than
Well,
women.
I'm just saying. You're saying you
But you have
guys
to
are
take
like
into how
we can't
easy it
judge
is
all
and-
this. I mean, it could be this or this or this, but I mean, just like when
You
we're
don't see
talking
any flaws with
statistic-
just that as the number though. Is
Well, I'm just there's no way of like when we're just you were saying there's no way of knowing or judging the facts, and it's like, well, I mean, it is just that men get married more often than women, and they get married faster after women die and after a divorce.
But do you see our reasoning on why we think that happens?
is that women need
No,
men and then
no. Our
we're
ways that
asking
we're
them to
saying
get
the skew
married.
data of it's easier for men to ask women. Women
Yes.
aren't out there asking,
Yes.
so obviously the numbers are going to be higher because the men are doing the asking. If
Yeah.
women were doing the asking, I wonder if those numbers would be a little bit different. If our society was different, where women asked the men to be married and women kind of were more on that role, if those numbers would be different just because of the women's asking. So I wonder if that would change that number. Is kind of what we're saying. So that's what we're saying is that we can't only take that number and fly off of just that one statistic just because of it's easier for a man to go out because they're the ones that are more pursuing the women. The women aren't as much pursuing men just in society.
I don't know. Sometimes I see my daughter.
I mean, sometimes it's. I feel like it's changed in middle schools, but
in middle schools,
I don't know. I've seen some.
and that's why women are better than men.
Sure.
I do think women are better than men. That's a whole other conversation. What we should do one day is if you were to pick a spouse for your child, like what traits do you think they should have to have?
Oh my gosh, I don't want to do that. All right, we're going to be playing a game. I wish I didn't know. We are going to learn facts that we did not want to know.
About each other?
No.
Thank goodness.
Thank goodness it's not about each other. We're going to split
I thought I
these
was about
up.
to break out some old facts.
I've got a fact about Steve that nobody wants to know.
We are going to split these up, and we are
You guys
going to
are wrong.
see.
Do we get to just like look at are we doing this random or can I look?
We are, well, yeah, you're
Okay.
going to read a fact, and we're going to try to guess alphabetical order what the answer is, and then we'll switch it up. We're going to learn some new things.
Who's up first?
I'll go first.
Like read first?
Yes, I'll
Okay.
read
Wait,
first.
did you say something about alphabetical order?
There's A, B, C, D.
Oh, A, B,
Okay.
C, D
I
order.
was like, I don't want to have to think
No,
about
A, B, C,
alphabetical
D.
order in here.
Okay,
What
yeah,
comes first in the
Jared's
alphabet?
not into that.
Jeez.
Dung beetles
Mm.
spend their lives looking for animal poop.
True.
These insects
Is that-
will.
is that-
This is gonna be.
Am I playing the game all right?
We're gonna have this for sure. This video. We're using the word poop.
Well, you could edit that yourself and say dump.
Dung.
Okay. These
Dung.
insects will steal poop from other beetles, lay their eggs inside poop, eat poop, or all of the above.
All of the above.
No, I would say all the above.
All of the above. So that is true. They do
Yeah.
all.
They
of
love
the,
their poop.
They steal it from other beetles
I mean,
They
were
lay their eggs.
would
I
you
mean,
rather that
laying
they're
their eggs
eating
makes sense because
and eating it. They just
you would eat your own poop over other people's poop?
they are stealing it.
And maybe it would.
No,
Eh.
they're stealing other animals.
I can control what I eat that
No,
day.
they go and steal other animals. It's not their own. They're
Why
stealing
does this taste
other
an awful
animals.
lot like candy?
Ew. Okay, next.
All right. A survey from 2007, which was like 1,000 years ago now, found that 62% of people from Iceland, can A, fluently speak 6 or more languages, B, have skateboarded within the last 2 years, or C, know how to fly a helicopter, or D, believe in real life elves.
What's the percentage?
62%.
That's a lot.
That's a lot for all of those.
Way more than the majority.
I was thinking languages. I'm going with the elves.
I kind of wanted to go elves, but also like skateboarding.
Ah! We
We need to
thought
scoot your chair back.
the SOTY set almost murdered my wife.
All right.
What happened? We got to
There you
fix
go,
that
there you
thing.
Whoever built this
Set builder and
It
It
designer.
was built well.
do a good enough
You
job.
did.
Okay.
So
Anyways.
back to 62%.
62. The real question we should have asked probably was, are children involved in this? Because the
it says
answer
of the
is
population.
Elves.
real life elves.
There must be some kind of
It's the whole population.
thing
so.
in Iceland. Maybe they've
I believe in real life
seen
elves.
Maybe they've seen
Do you
elves.
not?
Well, they
I
have a
do.
lot of like the
I believe in
Viking,
stuff like that.
like isn't that where a lot of the Vikings were too?
I don't
was
know. What does
Iceland?
that have to do with
What
elves?
in the world are you talking about?
The Vikings settled Iceland like that. They were the first founders of it,
So they.
and they
Believe
believe in
in
like the
elves?
pagan gods and stuff like that.
Maybe there's
Like I
some,
can,
like,
I can.
I just
see-
figured that there are more better people here who actually believe in Santa,
Maybe-
where the rest of the people are like, no. Maybe in the United
Okay,
States.
are we talking about Santa elves or are we talking about like elves?
I
real
was
life
thinking
elves?
fairy elves, not Santa.
I'm thinking
Fairy
of the
elves.
different kind of elves. I'm not
Fairy
thinking
elves
of
that
Santa.
live in.
Like
yeah.
if you said who believes in real life elves, in the United States it's probably 75%.
Maybe.
So I took the elves. I wasn't thinking of Santa at all.
No, I wasn't
On
talking
Is
that.
that the
Fairy-
only elves that exist?
Fairyland
No,
elves.
I was
no.
thinking
What's
of
a
like-
fairyland elf?
Have you seen like the Thor movie? Where they talk about like the dark elves?
Oh,
Actual
like that?
elves.
Like I was thinking of like some like
Elves.
Greek mythology
Yeah,
elves because
there's elves.
so in the
Greek
Thor
mythology
movie that's all
elves.
about Viking type of stuff and that's where I got the elves from.
I still don't know if I catch the
I
Vikings
pictured in
now.
my head those type of elves.
I wasn't thinking about Santa.
Let's move to the next question. I don't know how you don't think about Santa. He's the only thing I think about in my whole life.
Okay, doctors in India were shocked when they pulled this from a patient's
They were
mouth.
shot?
Shocked
Oh.
when they pulled this from
Where
a
at?
patient's
India?
mouth in India.
Okay.
A 6-foot tapeworm, a 19
Possible.
pound wad of gum,
That's impressive.
a second
19
tongue,
pounds?
or a beehive.
I think.
What kind of questions are these?
What was the first one again?
A 6-foot tapeworm.
That seems
But
realistic.
pulled it out of the mouth or the teeth?
Oh yeah, because the mouth.
Okay.
Wouldn't the tapeworm come out of your bum?
It
You
can
can
come
come
out your
out either
mouth.
side.
Really?
Depends
I mean,
on where it's.
So it could be that. That's realistic, but I think it's the
Realistic.
gum. I'm going gum.
Also, the tongue is very realistic, but then they pull it out. So, I would say tapeworm personally.
The answer is tapeworm. A
Yeah.
6-foot tapeworm.
That's
That
the
man-
obvious real
That man
answer.
must have weighed nothing. That tapeworm was eating all of his.
Looks like
But
we
if
need
you
to
have a
take Joel
6-foot
to
tapeworm,
India.
that probably weighs 80 pounds.
We might need to take Joel to India.
Google how much a 6-foot
Tapeworm.
tapeworm would weigh. Do,
Tapeworm.
do, 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 do,
It
do,
is gonna
do.
take me a while.
Next section.
And while he's doing that, I'm gonna read my next question. In order to see better, pirates would do this: A. Wear earrings. B. Hang upside down for an hour each day. C. Shave their eyebrows. D. Wear tight underwear.
To see better.
See
See better as in S-E-A better or S-E-E better.
S-E-E, like with their eyeballs.
Wear earrings.
Wear earrings. What does Jared think? He's still Googling the tapeworm.
Do they shave their
Actually,
eyebrows?
I found on USA Today the actual case of them pulling out of a 48-year-old patient from India, a 6 foot long.
They won't tell the weight though. There's no way.
Probably not. 6 foot long.
So the answer is wear earrings.
20 foot long.
I can't believe wear earrings would be a way to try to see better. Pirates are dumb.
Yeah.
I think it has something to do with, I don't know, if they're like...
I choose C. I don't know. I didn't hear the question, but
Yeah, I already gave the answer.
oh, you gave the answer.
Yeah,
What one was it then?
wear
Earrings.
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 Setting a world record, Joey Chestnut ate 121 of this snack in just 6 minutes.
That's
Oh.
the easiest thing.
A. Twinkies.
No.
B. Snowballs.
No.
C. Yodels.
No.
D. Thin Mints.
Oh wait, there's no
You
hot
were,
dogs on there?
of course, it's reminding me of hot dogs. That's obvious. I'm
He's
100.
like, hot dog!
You
Wait,
said
wait.
162.
Not an,
Say it again.
121.
Twinkies.
Twinkies, 100%.
121. Twinkies, snowballs, yodels, or things.
It could be snowballs, but I'm gonna go Twinkies.
Yodels.
Well, I don't
The
even know what
answer
yodel is.
is Twinkies.
Yes!
That makes sense.
A Twinkies, 121 Twinkies. How many calories is
Probably 6 or 7.
121
Twinkies are good for you.
Twinkies?
I read that in a book once.
I bet that he has struggled after that.
Struggled with
Dude,
what?
have you seen?
Diabetes.
Do you know who Joey Chestnut is?
I don't.
Oh my gosh!
He's got to be in the Hall of Fame. They got to make some.
This is why you don't understand that men don't need women as much.
Okay.
Homie eats hot dogs all day long.
Yep.
Okay.
Anywho.
I think you're proving my point by just saying that. I'll just be quiet.
Yeah,
During this game.
maybe that actually argues the other way.
It
In
does.
Canada, what word do they use instead of garbage disposal? A. Garburator. B. Hugger mugger. C. Brabble. And D. Muggle. Like Harry.
Holy! Sorry. You know how many calories are in 121 Twinkies?
Jared's all still back.
Woo! 33,880 calories.
That's a
in
lot of calories that he
121
just
Twinkies.
Yeah, but this is Joey Chestnut. That's like 4 calories. So, Garburator, Hugger mugger, Brabble, or Muggle.
I'm going to say A.
A? What about you, Jared?
I didn't hear the question. I was.
The answer is A. Garburator. In Canada, that's what they call it.
Garburator.
Garbage
A
disposal.
garbage disposal is a garburator.
All right, Canadians, comment below if that's true. 'Cause I don't
If it
think
was
that-
England, I would say Muggle.
Isn't that what a person is?
A
Yeah,
woman
a
in
regular person.
England has a rare health condition. She gets sick from every single food except this one. A. Raw hamburger. B. Fruity Pebbles.
That can't be true.
C. Chicken nuggets.
That could be true.
Or D. Tic Tacs.
Fruity
A.
Pebbles.
Raw hamburger.
Ew.
I say Fruity Pebbles.
You're both wrong, which is, I'm so glad that that's not the answer. The answer is Tic Tacs.
So
which
she
makes
survives
sense.
on Tic Tacs?
I do not know how she is living.
I guess you could take a lot of
She
vitamins.
gets sick from every single food except for Tic Tacs.
She clearly doesn't eat Tic Tacs
What
like the
is
rest
it
of us.
that is in Tic Tacs that is keeping her from getting sick? That's my question.
Because it's straight plastic.
And she's obviously eating like one Tic Tac at a time because if she's like the rest of us, she just downs the whole bottle of Tic
Yeah,
Tacs.
the whole-
You get sick immediately. Right?
Yeah.
What's the best flavor of Tic Tacs?
Orange.
So you're saying a bunch of women
Orange
that
is
live
good.
alone, a bunch of men that
Orange
live
is good.
alone, are just eating a bunch of Tic Tacs and getting sick, pouring it down. Let's see what happens when I do this.
Who's more likely to dump a bottle of
Why
Tic Tacs?
are
down
we
the throat?
still bringing up that thing?
Oh, I don't
Jamie?
know. I didn't bring it up the first time. So
First time was me.
Thank you. Next.
I
can't do
wasn't
this.
able to get any of my points out in that argument. I was hoping I would get slapped for that, but it didn't work. That was a joke. Sometimes we tell them,
He's
right?
not happy at all.
That was just a joke. We're still friends.
Go.
We're still friends.
Go.
I need to know.
Go.
If we don't do a podcast in the next month, you know why.
Or it's just Jamie doing podcasts and I'm done. Threadworms
Prove a
sound
point.
harmless enough, but they can actually cause
Diarrhea.
an itchy booty, a hairy tongue, gigantic eyebrows, sorry, and a red nose.
What was
Threadworms?
thread?
Threadworms.
You would think eyebrows because that's what it sounds like.
It made me think of like 10 different people automatically. I'm like, oh, they must have threadworm problems. What's your answer, James? You
What
look
was the hairy
perplexed.
tongue?
hairy tongue, itchy booty, gigantic eyebrows,
I
or
would
a
say
red nose.
itchy booty.
No, that's
I'll
tapeworms.
say eyebrows.
It is itchy booty. I didn't look at the answer, obviously. I would have said hairy tongue, 100%.
Kim Goodman holds.
What if you had a hairy tongue? Kind of cool.
Ew. Kim Goodman holds the world record for eyeball popping. She can make her eyes pop
I've seen this lady.
.47 inches
I've
out of
seen
her
that.
head.
0.47?
0.47
Like a
inches
half an inch out of their face.
out of her head.
What's her name? I'm looking
No,
this up.
no.
Kim
I have to
No.
see
Goodman.
this.
Kim Goodman.
I have to
How
see
did
this.
Goodman discover her odd talent? Getting hit in the head with a hockey mask, entering a school,
Oh, goodness.
entering a school talent show,
Here, I showed it on
while
the screen.
yelling at her little brother or laughing at the TV.
100% yelling at her little brother.
Oh my gosh.
You're showing this? Don't show that. We might, like, lose our whole audience just from this picture.
Well,
I'm
I'll
hypnotized right now. Turn it off! I can't stop looking. My eyes are going to look like that in a
What
second.
is the answer?
I said yelling at little brother 100%.
It's getting hit in the head with a hockey mask.
That doesn't even make sense.
It popped her eyes out.
With a hockey mask?
Ugh.
I mean,
Jeez.
that may
poor lady.
have dislocated something.
What if
did
you were
that?
that lady's grandson, though, and that lady's like, get over here? You'd be like, yes, ma'am.
But do you think that getting hit in the head like did something? And
Do you think
popped
that's
her?
like her face recognition on her phone? That nobody can
Nobody
do.
just like-
Nobody can replicate.
Possibly.
Oh, creeped out. No brain, no pain. This insect can live up to 9 days without a head.
Chicken.
Dung beetle, stink bug,
Centipede.
bed bug. That's a real thing.
Yes, a bed bug. You've never.
That's
heard
a real thing.
You've heard of bed bugs before.
I've heard of bed bugs because I thought it was a joke.
Of course
Are you
it's a real
joking?
thing.
Yeah, no, I'm not joking. There's bugs in your bed. Like that's what I thought.
Just let him. I might be on Jamie's side on the previous one now.
Thank you. You thought bed bugs were just someone saying, "Don't let the bed bugs bite."
Yeah,
It was a phrase.
yeah. It is a phrase.
It is
But-
a phrase, that is true. But
It's a phrase because of
That's
something
used,
that
but it is
didn't
true.
exist,
That's used about something that's not really happening.
like the whole.
dude, if
seeing
you want to
vision
ruin
thing,
your night,
like being able to
look
see
up
things
like the amount of bed bugs
that are in,
in
your bed.
just a normal bed.
And
Like a
bed bugs
clean
are the
sanitary
actual
bed
bugs, not like some other thing.
They are bugs that bite you.
in your bed.
They eat.
What
Yeah.
the freak?
They eat your skin.
Okay, I'm
They
done.
drink your blood.
The last one was cockroach, by the way. Pick your poison. This is obvious, I feel like.
Cockroach. Cockroaches live through everything.
I mean, I can't think of a single thing a cockroach can die from, but what do you think?
I think they said like if there was
I
like
didn't
a
hear all of
atomic
them.
bomb.
Okay, let me reread it.
I'm really shocked. Bed bugs.
Cockroaches
I'm gonna
would
say
live.
bed bugs. Yeah,
Okay.
I'm just really shocked that you don't even.
A bedbug's a real thing, though. Like, not like a mythical
Yes.
creature like the monster in the
Parker
closet.
was watching a YouTube channel with that
I don't wanna
guy
know what
that
else he
does
watches.
the what? I mean, gosh, I should know his name. Sorry.
Mark Roble.
Yes, where he's doing experiments with bed bugs, like actually having them bite his skin and drink the
There's
blood.
a picture
and
for you, Steve.
That's
Those
what
are bed bugs.
Are. That's a bed bug that's full of blood.
How big are they?
They're see through, and then
This shows it's like
they're tiny.
They have full of blood like mosquitoes?
Yeah,
They
so
drink-
they're
they eat
see
your
through,
blood,
and then when
dude.
they're pinkish, it's because they have your blood.
What
Yeah.
the heck?
so they'll get all pink.
I thought this was a
They
bad
become
joke.
docile and like they're kind of like
I'm
until they
out.
suck
I'm
your
out
blood.
on
It's almost
bed
like
bugs.
they're ticks in a way.
Yeah.
They look like
So,
ticks. That's what I
yeah.
would assume. Like,
There's
like,
a life cycle of the bed bug, everything.
No, they don't live very
okay,
long.
I'm
Some
done
of
with
them
bed
do.
bugs. It was cockroach. Obviously, like, I don't think you can kill a cockroach.
No,
I have tried.
I have to. In 2006, a team of scientists found a living animal that was 507 years old. What was it?
Mammoth.
A vampire bat, a dolphin, a mutated turtle, or a giant clam?
Ooh, turtle sounds tempting to
I would
pick.
say
A
clam.
mutated turtle.
I like the vampire bat, though, so I'm going vampire bat.
For how long? 200?
507.
Because maybe it's like the
years.
Dracula bat, so we're doing it. Vampire bat.
Clam.
It's a giant clam.
Do those sea creatures? They live forever.
It's like a clam.
500
What does a
years
clam
old?
need to even live? I don't know.
Pearls.
It makes-
It eats pearls.
It eats pearls.
Yeah, is that even a real creature?
It is, I guess. 507 years.
Yikes. I'm getting freaked out by this podcast now. During a 2009 operation, doctors were shocked to find this inside their patient. A baseball-sized hairball. Butterflies in his stomach. Obviously it was a dude. Shocking. A plastic fork. Or a tree growing in his lungs.
Okay, so wait. He went in for a. I didn't.
Okay, let me reread it. During a 2009 operation, doctors were shocked to find this inside their patient.
I would
A
say
baseball-sized hairball, butterflies in the stomach, plastic fork, or a tree growing in his lungs.
A hairball, baseball.
I would say hairball or fork. I mean, I think the fork is
People
pretty
have
normal.
those things that are pretty normal.
I
Just
mean,
to
people swallow
a
some
part.
weird-
Butterflies in the stomach would be funny, so I can see why that would you'd be surprised. Like if you had a butterfly in your stomach and that's like a saying, right? Or is that a real thing too?
I don't know. Someone could eat a butterfly, I guess.
Heaven forbid these sayings aren't
mean,
real.
Bed bugs are. There's actually like bed bug epidemics where they have it and you have to do a whole. It's like lice. You have to do things to get rid of them. Like if you're
Might as well
living
just
in an
burn your
apartment
house
that has
down.
bed bugs, like you have to like fumigate, or else
Yeah.
you're getting
Ooh.
bit. You get little bites, itchy bites all over your body.
That's disgusting.
Hairball. Final answer.
All right, final answer is a tree growing in his lungs.
What?
How did he
What?
swallow a seed?
And
And
that
how
would-
did the tree
But
live?
it's in the lungs, not
I'm
even
more
in
curious
the-
on what type of tree we're talking
So he
about.
aspirated.
Not in your.
You're gonna have to Google this too. I have to know what tree it was.
What kind of tree?
An oak tree. A sapling of an oak tree in his lungs.
It's like, why do you eat that then? If it was an apple tree, it makes sense. If you ate the apple
then
seed.
I'm never gonna eat an apple seed in my life.
How does that's not even, you need oxygen and stuff, don't you? I guess in
In
your lungs.
2009, a Russian man
There's
named
oxygen
Artyom
Oh my gosh.
Sidorkin.
Seriously.
That sounds
So, had experienced chest pain and coughing up blood for several weeks. Suspected had lung cancer, but he had a tree growing. A fir tree. Had a fir tree growing.
How?
So fur ball was close second.
Fir tree. How
The
do
tree
you
was about 2 centimeters tall
What?
and had green needles. Doctors were baffled about how the tree got there,
baffled?
but believed he inhaled a seed at some point. The embryo then germinated and began to grow inside his lungs.
He was like having a baby.
It was growing in the lower lobe of the
That
right
is
lung.
insane.
That is crazy.
They removed it.
What if it was just the doctor, like, you know, like when your grandpa does magic tricks and pulls quarters out of your ear? He's like, look, there was a tree in your lungs. Just kidding, you're dying of cancer.
Yeah, that's pretty.
Oh god.
That's pretty crazy.
Okay.
All right.
Don't upset a skunk. If he decides to aim and fire, he'll be impossible to outrun. A skunk can shoot liquid from its behind at a distance of up to 15 feet.
Read it one more time. I didn't quite understand
A
that one.
skunk can shoot liquid from its behind at a distance of up to.
I didn't really realize it was liquid. I just thought it was just like a tube.
No, it's
just
like
the,
a water
just
bottle.
the
I've never actually seen it happen. I'm going to go get
15 feet, 6 feet, 32 feet, or 18 feet.
Gotta be
It's got to be between 15 or 18. That's why they put it so close.
32.
That's
I
why
said
they put it
18.
so close?
Like
He's
so-
trying to game the game.
Yeah.
Okay, what is
I'd
it?
say 18.
What'd you say, 18?
No, I
He
said
said 32.
I said 30.
It's 15 feet. That's still a lot.
Yeah, that's pretty far.
15 feet.
It's
I mean, I
liquid.
can pee 15 feet. So it's
No
not that
way.
What are you talking about?
15 feet? You can pee 15 feet.
Easy.
That's
Please.
why I know why we're getting why we're getting our videos. I know why our videos aren't showing
There
up.
is no way you could do that.
I think I could.
No way.
If I
No.
didn't go for a little while and I just let
From
it
one
ride.
side of the room, you could even make
How
the
far is
toilet
this
if you-
room? This is
I
probably
mean,
15 feet.
honestly,
This is probably 10.
yeah,
Okay, maybe 10 feet.
No way.
no.
Fine, we're gonna have to pee
That's
off
some
on this
serious
podcast one day.
pressure. I mean, that could be our next podcast.
And I won't be involved anymore in them. I'm already
You're gonna lose that one for
second
sure.
guessing on being a part of this anymore.
Yeah, you have no chance against this.
Who?
Go.
Okay, stop. I'll stop. I'll
Go.
stop. Some people collect baseball cards, but Michael Bailey, with 584 samples, he's got the world's largest collection of A, half-eaten cookies, B, moose selfies, C, human nose hairs, or D, magic wands. Real magic wands.
I think mom would be on moose
500.
selfies.
So I think it was hilarious if it was moose selfies. That's a lot. That's like 500.
584 moose selfies?
I mean, you could just.
Is it
you could
called
just-
meese?
No.
500
It's moosin'.
meese? Not
mice.
moosin'.
Moosin' in the woodenism.
It's my uses.
I'm gonna go with wands, even though I want it to be selfies.
I'll go selfies. We'll just see.
I mean, human hairs, that's not even a lot of human hairs.
No.
That's lame. Half-eaten cookies. Ready?
And cookies.
No, that's not the
Who
answer.
knows?
I'm
That's
guessing
what you're
too.
going for.
Your guess, okay.
He's hiding the answers and
Yes,
trying to
he
guess.
is.
The
with it.
answer is human nose hairs. That's lame.
Oh, that's
mean, it is-
actually disgusting.
it's
If
weird.
Does it have to be from separate people?
I mean, I don't know what the
If it's
rules
separate
are.
people, then maybe that's pretty impressive.
I guess
If you
that's
can
kind of impressive.
Pluck 400. How many was it?
584.
If
584 from
someone,
random people?
offers you a grilled cheese sandwich using
Yes.
kasu marzu,
If it's from
cheese-
Parker, don't accept it.
kasu marzu cheese, you might want to think twice. Kasu marzu
Marzu.
cheese is made from sheep's milk and flies,
Oh,
maggots,
ew.
worms,
I'm out.
cockroaches.
Oh,
I would say
I
maggots.
thought you were giving me the ingredients like you were.
An ingredients list.
I'm not
If it has-
offering you the kasu marzu.
I'm saying maggots because
I
that
would say
sounds.
maggots.
Oh.
Maggots sound like probably,
Ugh.
and they like to put them like close with flies and maggots. So it's either flies.
It's
or
probably
And
maggots.
then
I'd
they're just mixing it with
I would say
with
maggots.
sheep's milk and spreading it
That's pretty
on
nasty.
a grilled cheese
I don't know if
sandwich.
they're mixing it. There's probably a way to like automatically get into a track
Okay,
to it.
it is maggots. B
Mm.
maggots.
Okay, what was the name of that cheese again?
Kasu marzu.
We're gonna pass on that.
Never eat that again.
This animal has no brain. no heart, and no bones. A man,
Steve. Sorry.
a child.
Is
Okay,
it,
no.
I'm like, come on.
Like names 4 different people.
Random people.
Jellyfish, squid, trout, earthworm.
Okay, hold on.
I
What
I think
was
I
it?
know this one, but I
What
haven't.
were the
Again?
things? Yeah, because I might know it.
No brain, no heart, no
brain,
bones.
heart,
Jellyfish,
or bones.
squid, trout, earthworm.
Earthworm.
I thought earthworm, but when you step on them, they're pretty crunchy.
No.
No brain,
Earthworms?
no heart,
They're not
and
crunchy.
no.
Bones. I
They
think
might
it's
have a heart though.
I thought I heard it was earthworms, but I could be
Earthworm.
wrong.
I've dissected one before. I bet I don't know.
It
may
is
have a
jellyfish,
heart.
which was my next guess.
They don't have a brain? Jellyfish? Oh, is that your guess or is
No,
that the answer? That's
Jellyfish is the answer. That was my second guess.
Interesting.
I said earthworm because I thought I heard it. It probably heard some other weird stuff.
All right, we got time for one more.
Okay, being a mother cat to newborn kittens can't be fun,
We're doing-
especially
we're doing one
because
more,
the
mine
mom has to teach her babies how to poop. Bye. Licking their behind, sticking a paw in their behind, loading them up on milk until they go, or making them watch her.
It's got to be licking, right?
I would say loading up on milk. That sounds like the normal one, but I just hope it's that one and not any of the other ones.
It's licking. Wait, was licking the first one?
Yeah.
Okay, just making sure I'm not like making one up.
wouldn't even want to do that.
What is it?
It's
probably
licking their behind.
Behind. Okay, we have to do one more because I read mine.
Fine.
Which one of these animals set a world record by making a 26-foot long doo-doo?
Where is there so much?
26 foot?
26 feet? Whatever it is my idol.
Jeez.
Here's the answers, though. Elephant, horse, lion, or human.
Oh, goodness.
This is tough. I would love to say elephant, because that would be the best, but I don't think that's going to be the answer.
Horse, so from the diet of a horse, I don't think it's a horse.
I can't think of a horse
Because
or
horse
elephant.
poop's kind of like, just like circular.
It's got to be lion or human, right?
It's got to be lion or
I'm
human.
gonna say human.
Could be human.
I would say lion. I'll just put lion.
I'm going to go lion. I was wishing it was an elephant. Let's see. It is human. Who?
Because we
Who?
eat some.
Who?
We,
Who is that?
Who?
we eat some disgusting things.
26 feet? Think about how far that'd be sticking out of the toilet.
It's probably not in the toilet. It's
What if it was
probably
like a
in
little
If it's
kid?
26
medical.
foot.
It was probably in a medical facility because they were so backed up. It's
1995, the longest human poop at 26 feet in length.
Doo-doo.
Wow.
Does it say the person's name?
It was a woman!
No.
Michelle Hines!
Michelle Hines is her
Oh
name.
my god.
Michelle, we
now
need you on
gotta
the
see
podcast.
a picture of Michelle Hines, right? Can
Michelle,
you find Michelle?
come on our podcast. If anyone of you knows Michelle Hines, we would love
Redemption video.
it. We're gonna say Tosh.0 to another level.
I
Are we done?
Tosh would have.
No,
to
we
do
have to
that.
see it.
Dude, this is.
Well, there's a lot of Michelle
there's a lot of
Hineses.
Michelle Hines.
Put up a list. Put up a bunch of pictures of it. We'll pick which one we think it was.
Rosalind.
This lady looks like she
I
drops a
mean,
big one.
I would understand.
Oh! Is that it?
Can't be that.
That can't be it.
That might.
If that's 26 feet long, that means it's like 460 feet wide.
Why do they have it on display?
It looks like it's in a museum of some sort.
Why is it in a museum?
8 meters.
I can't.
I understand why
Sorry,
her
guys, you
picture's not
can't
on
see
there. I would want my picture.
You guys
Actually,
can't
I
see
would
this.
want my picture on
Oh,
there.
I would be standing next to that thing. 26 feet? I'd be like having my hand on it like this.
Yeah, I
How?
don't
If
got-
that's 26 feet, that was not it, was it?
I don't. That's got to be just a section of it. It's probably showing the girth of it, like how thick this thing was.
26.
Do you think it starts big and then just like
Okay,
tapers down?
Are we done? Because
We
this
have to
is,
be done
this
now.
video is.
This is
gonna-
the worst podcast of all time. That's how you make the
It
worst
is.
podcast of all time.
I'm
Oh,
disturbed.
man.
I am disturbed, but that was
Yeah.
awesome. When I saw that
No
question.
pictures.
That's a human being.
Yep.
Thanks for watching today's video, guys. I'm sorry.
We'll see if we're back next week, guys.
You're over that.
If
the
our
first part.
channel's back.
Yeah, we might be.
I'm not
deleting
over
YouTube.
it, but we'll see you guys
love you,
next
baby.
week. Thank you for watching our podcast. We are here every Wednesday.
Baby, come back.
Sometimes. We'll see you
Baby,
guys next
come
time.
back to-
Bye.
Bye.